starting off the state?
Well, I'm excited to start Valley play at home, and obviously we have a great team coming in here on Saturday, and Illinois State just had a big-time win at their place against Northern Iowa, and I think our guys are looking forward to the first home game in the Valley season. I don't think we played our best against Indiana State, so again, when you don't have a great game, you always look forward to the next game. We've had some really good practices, Illinois State presents a lot of challenges. They're playing extremely well right now, and they scored 56 points against Northern Iowa in the second half, and Northern Iowa has a great defense. So we have to be ready to go from the start, and hopefully we can have a great crowd here for our first Valley game. I'm really looking forward to the atmosphere in the arena, and I know our young guys love playing at home, so it'll be a great test for us on Saturday.
Illinois State is known for their man-to-man. Did they play any zone at all against Northern Iowa?
Yeah, they played maybe 3 or 4 possessions.
Yeah,
Yeah, 3 or 4 possessions. They always have played some zone with Coach Mueller, but majority man.
I mean, do you think you'll have Aaron Cook and Eric McGill back tomorrow?
We should have Eric. He had a really bad case of the flu, but he was able to go a little bit yesterday, and hopefully he can go some more today. And then we'll see with AC. He's had some pain in his hand, so I'm not sure, depending on how today goes, whether or not he'll be able to play or not.
Copeland's their main scoring threat. What did he do to make it so tough to defend him?
Well, he can score at all 3 levels. I mean, he makes tough shots too. I mean, he can shoot it with his hand in his face. He can do 1 to 2 dribble pull-ups, and he's done a better job this year of handling the ball and getting to the basket. And he plays extremely hard too.
How did they score 56 points in the hand?
They played really, really hard. They forced a lot of turnovers in the second half. Their defense, they were able to push the ball and get some steals, make some transition threes, get to the basket, and their level of energy. I think how hard they played coming out of halftime. They probably felt like they didn't have the best first half, and I'm sure Coach Mueller challenged them, and they responded in the second half.
They do a lot to try to get to the basket. They run a lot of stuff to get some guys. It's almost like they have 5 Aaron Cooks that try to get to the basket. How well do you feel your defense and the way your defensive shell does? You feel like you can stop the penetration?
They play with great pace this year, and they probably share the ball better than they have in the past, just because Fane and Yarborough were such great isolation players in the past couple of years. So they move the ball, they change it side to side, they play off catches, and all 5 of their guys can score the ball, and when they put Fisher at the 5, they present a lot of challenges too. So we've got to be connected defensively. We made a lot of defensive mistakes in the game against Indiana State, uncharacteristic that we haven't done in the past couple games, and we got to clean that up, and we got to be more solid, just in our half-court defense on Saturday.
How much improved is Ray with that?
Yeah, big time. Offensively, he can go get you a basket. He's got a lot of confidence. They have a lot of confidence in him to throw the ball inside. He's got good footwork, and then defensively, he gives them a great presence on ball screens and in the paint.
Is Aaron practicing full with you guys now? Is he doing the whole practice with you, or is he just doing certain?
Yeah, he's still been limited with his hand. He's still been limited.
He's still what?
Limited.
Question submitted online. What are the emotions like for Brandon being on the Illinois State staff the last couple of years?
He has a ton of respect for Coach Mueller and all the players there. So I'm sure it's a little mixed emotions at the beginning, but he's a Saluki. He wants to win as bad as I do, as bad as our players do. So he's as competitive as anyone. So I think he's looking forward to the game.
Is there anything that he said we got to put specific emphasis on, because I know this is what Mueller does?
Nothing that I don't think the rest of the league knows in terms of how hard Illinois State plays, how well they share the ball, and then taking care of the ball too, with their man-to-man defense. Sometimes they do go zone, or they do a 2-2-1 press. So I don't think there's any big secrets in the Valley.
Number 5, the young man from Evanston. How has he grown?
He's getting better. Lance has a great work ethic, and he's an extremely coachable kid. He comes up, watches film extra. He always looks you in the eye. He wants to learn. He wants to be good. and he's just going to get better throughout. I think on the road as a true freshman, playing against, for example, last game against Jordan Barnes, a 4-year starter, it was a great experience for him, a great test for him to see, the level that, he needs to get to, we need to get to as a team. But I know he's looking forward to this game. I know he loves playing at home, and he had a good week of practice, a really good week, and he's doing a much better job communicating with his teammates. I think he's getting more comfortable in that role right now as being a leader, because that position demands leadership, and he's really improved his communication, I think, since Christmas.
Of course, it would be impossible because time changed, but the kind of game that he plays and can kind of drive the both sides, I would have liked to see you guard him.
Lance?
Yeah.
I'm sure he would like to see me guard him right now
He's
too.
not afraid.
No, and that's what I mean. He keeps coming, and he plays extremely hard. And that's why I love coaching him. He doesn't back down. He believes he's the best player on the court every time he steps out there, and that's what you need, from a point guard, from, one of your guys who's playing a lot of minutes for you. So, like I said, these minutes he's getting are invaluable right now, and they're going to pay off, and he's going to continue to get better throughout this season. And, I think he's going to have a great Valley season for us.
Freshmen seem like they have a lot of trouble on the road. When you were a freshman, what problems did you run into as far as, besides just not knowing the plays as well as seniors?
Yeah.
What problems did you run into as a freshman?
The freshman season is always the longest season because everything's new to you. The travel's new, different arenas are new to you. Just winter break is new to you, Christmas break is new to you. So freshman year is always the longest year of your college experience, and then the next 3 years fly by because you're used to everything. You know what to expect. So the freshmen are going through that right now. And I think, when I was a freshman, I got to have JT, Tony Young, Randall, Matt, all those guys who have been to NCAA tournaments, and those guys helped me along the way. And for these guys, a lot of these guys are learning through each other right now. And Barrett and Ronnie, they've been great leaders for us. But they haven't been at SIU for 3 or 4 years either. So I think in terms of the experience that they're getting, everyone's kind of going through it the first time. I think against Indiana State, Ronnie played in the Valley at Bradley his first 2 years, but besides that, we had no one else who ever played in a Valley game before.
Barrett had a nice first half, but did you feel like you didn't do a good enough job getting the ball in the second half to give him a chance?
Yeah. We went to him, I think, the first 3 or 4 times in the second half. I think he was 1 for 3 to start the second half, but I thought he played hard. He played the right way, and that's what we need from him. I think he can score in this league, and he's got to be productive for us to be successful.
He can kind of run the court at times, right?
Yeah, he does. He runs hard. It's one of the best things he does probably is, and I try to push him every day to get a couple baskets in transition. Because, those are easy baskets. You might not get it every single time, yet you run 40, 50 times in transition, but you still 4 to 6 points is huge.
What do basketball analytics mean in mid-major basketball? What do you guys do with analytics? We don't do probably everything as in depth as some programs. I think every program uses it differently. We look at, the field goal efficiency, some of the player stuff, the individual, the lineups, in terms of lineup combinations, the plus minuses with that, and obviously, turnovers, offensive rebounding, free throws, those things decide games. And, if you take care of those things, it's proven, that you're going to win the game. So those are the, things we look at the most probably. Right, Tommy had some numbers about your pace of play.
Yeah.
You guys are at the bottom of hundreds of schools. Is that the way you want to play?
Yes and no. I think offensively we'd like to play faster. Defensively, the pace of play and the possessions per game are a little bit misleading in terms of thinking about it as an offensive stat. Because you look at it, if you take a team and you guard them for 25, 30 seconds, give up a quick shot, that's nothing to do with your offense. That has everything to do with how good your defense is. And that limits the game, that shortens the possessions. So offensively, I want to play fast. I want to score in transition. I want to get open shots. I don't want to take bad shots. And defensively, I don't want them to score in transition. I want them to use 30 seconds in the shot clock. Wherever that falls, But you look at Virginia, Wisconsin,
teams that have been successful, Northern Iowa, teams that go to the NCAA tournament, a lot of those teams have similar pace of play.
The reason I ask is that I don't understand. I think I understand baseball analytics, but basketball, some of the stuff I've seen, it kind of goes like this. If there was one set of things that the eye test tells me is that you don't ever want to play so slow that you pass up a good shot for something later that's not as good.
For sure. No, definitely. That's why, open threes, layups, get to the basket, get fouled in transition, that's what we want. If we don't have that, let's try to find that somewhere in the possession, because we can always get a contested tough shot. We can get that in the first 10 seconds, or we can get that in the last 10 seconds of the shot clock. It doesn't make sense to take a bad shot in the first 10 seconds without trying to look for a better shot later in the shot clock.
Bear and Ronnie knew what they were getting into, but how have they dealt with, progress? You're trying to build this team towards the end.
Yeah.
And I know you want to win every game, but
Yeah.
you're largely trying to build this team to the end. How have they dealt with that this year?
Oh, they've been great. I mean, the locker room and their leadership, the type of people they are, type of students they are. We're lucky to have them. I'm lucky to have them. They mean a lot to this program, and they're our two highest energy guys almost every single day too in practice, in terms of just being ready to go, and that's what we need from seniors. And I think they're enjoying their experience so far. They're getting an opportunity to play for a championship level program, and they're a big piece of it right now.
Speaking about Aaron Cook, do you, because this is his last year, do you want him to be pain-free before you put him out there, knowing you don't want to have him upset?
Yeah, I want him to feel comfortable. That's the biggest thing. I'm never going to play someone who doesn't feel comfortable on the court. So I want him to feel comfortable. I want him to be confident, and that's the biggest thing with Aaron.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.